to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And it's Tuesday night, and I am back from New Orleans. I went live last week, although I pre-recorded it with my sketch challenge. But I'm excited to be back. I missed you guys, and I had such a fun time in New Orleans, but I did miss being live with all of you. So I thought I would put my finery on that we got. We did an amazing parade through the French Quarter with a marching band, and it was just so amazing. And we all got feather boas. Now I've got purple feathers all over. It's very hot, so I'm going to take it off. Whew, you see I've got feathers all over. And we got beads that we threw. So these were so much fun. We wore masks, which is really hard when you wear glasses, to put a mask over top and a mask over your mouth, because I was wearing my mask. And then also throw these out. But we had such a fun time. Diane and I did all sorts of things, and hopefully you saw some of the pictures that I shared while I was away. But I'm back, and I'm excited to be back with a sketch challenge for you. So I learned so much, and I met so many amazing people. But let's get started on the sketch. So this sketch will go live at about 7. Oh, hello from a very hot Calgary. Yes, it's warm here. It was very hot and humid in New Orleans, I have to admit. Hey, Deborah, welcome from Australia. So I kind of like this sketch. It could be a very plain and simple card, or a clean and simple card, I guess. Or I'm going to fancy it up a little bit. I'm using the Season of Chic stamp set and doing some two-step stamping. But you could do all sorts of things with this sketch. So the sketch will go live about 7 o'clock Pacific on Instagram and my Facebook page and group, so you can follow along with it. But I will go over the sketch as well. All right, let's get started. Hey, Kim, welcome. Forgetting what I'm doing here. I got to switch over. It's a week away and you forget things. All right, this is the sketch. So like I said, you could do all sorts of things with this. You could keep it really plain and simple, or I'm going to use Designer Series paper for my layer number 1. But so this orange layer, so it's a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. And then layer number 1 is 4 inches by 5.25. Layer number 2, which is this blue rectangle, is 2 inches by 3.5. Then layer 3 is the green, is 1 3/4 by 3. Layer number 4 is this blue circle. It's about 1.5 inches. You can do it bigger than that or smaller than that, whatever you want to do. And then a sentiment that's about 1/2 inch by 2 inches. But if you know me, my sentiment is always just a guide. So mine's definitely going to be longer than 2 inches because it's just longer. So just use that as a guide and make your sentiment piece however long that you need it to be. All right. So as I said, I'm using the Season of Chic. This is just such a beautiful stamp set. It's actually a whole collection. And so it's two-step stamping, and I'm using the seashells. But there are leaves and snowflakes and flowers, just everything for every season. Now, these stamps are 75% size, so they are much larger than what they appear. Kind of like your mirror on your car. Things are larger than they appear. No, closer than they appear, I guess it is, on the car. Okay, and then the dies. My favorite die is this one that cuts this grid. I'm going to use that. And then, of course, all the dies that cut out the stamped images, as well as these other pieces. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing I've got is I'm using Blushing Bride and gold and white. And I think I've got some, no, I don't have any crumb cake cardstock, but I've got crumb cake ink. So this is 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And as always, this is this line the side I scored on. So I'm going to fold into that raised line or mountain and give it a good crease with my bone folder. Okay, So I've got my card base. Now I've cut a piece of designer series paper. Isn't this beautiful designer paper? It's the specialty paper. It's got the gold foil. This side has got seashells and splatters on it. I'm going to use the gold just because I can't resist this pink and gold paper, polka dot paper. So I'm just going to adhere this down. So you could use embossed cardstock, for example, if you didn't want to use designer series paper. You could use even just, like I said, leave it clean and simple and just put it on white or just plain cardstock. Lots of ways you can make this. But if you know me, I like things a little fussier. All right, so now I do have a piece of, I am going to just use a piece of plain Blushing Bride cardstock. So this is the piece that is cut. Hey Lee, welcome. This is 1 3/4 by 3. Now I'm going to cut a banner or flag end. So I'm going to cut up from the bottom in the middle about maybe 3/4 of an inch and then cut in from each corner to make this banner end. I find, and I know I've said this before, I find if I cut up from the middle, I stand half a chance of getting this point in the middle. Even then, it's not quite perfect, but it's fine. Now, this is my piece that's going to go. Yeah. There are some splatters in this stamps. If I can find them. There they are. So I'm going to do some stamping on here just because I'm feeling like this piece is a little plain. So I'm just going to use Blushing Bride and do tone on tone. And I'm stamping off just because I really do just want this to be kind of in the background. You're not going to see all of this, but you will see some of it. There we go. Just to give it something on it. Hey, Lena. Sorry, I'm trying to read the notes there, the comments that are going on. All right, so I'm going to adhere this about not quite an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch from this right-hand edge. And you could use dimensionals, but because I've got a few layers going on here, I'm going to just adhere this flat. And I'm aligning it with the top of the designer series paper. All right. Now my second, no, actually it's my layer number 3, which is 1 3/4 by 3. Actually, what did I say? This is 2 inches by 3.5. Sorry if I got that wrong. Layer 3 is 1 3/4 by 3, which I think is this piece. Make sure 1 3/4. Yeah. I am going to take and cut out this. So I'm just going to lay this underneath this great grid die, and that's going to be that piece. So let's do some stamping of my seashells. So we didn't do any stamping in New Orleans. This was a business conference, and so there was no stamping. Lots of great information, so I missed the stamping. Now I want to see what this looks like. I might decide to switch this. I'm using Sahara sand. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to switch this up. Sahara sand, which is quite juicy. And yeah, all right. So we're going to switch this up. I'm going to use, my base is going to be Blushing Bride. Let's try that. It's the more solid one. And then I will go over it with the Sahara sand. So I always like to stamp my solid pieces first. I just find that it is easier to for me when I'm doing two-step stamping. Now, if you use your Stamparatus, it works really well. But for this, just a couple of pieces, I'm not going to. But I find that having that solid, more solid image as the background helps me line up the more detailed outline pieces. So there, I've got that. And I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment in. Now, I didn't cut this because I wasn't exactly sure how long I needed it. So my sentiment needs to be a little longer than I said. So I'm going to cut this 2 3/4. Actually, I'm going to cut it 3 because I think I'll put a banner end on it. And I think I'm going to cut it 5/8 of an inch. I think that should be wide enough for that sentiment. You can always, like I said, always adjust your sentiment piece to make it fit. Everything going all over. And I'm going to stamp it in Sahara sand. And I probably could have gotten away with 1/2 inch. But this one, the stamp image sentiment says, "You are amazing beyond measure." It's some really nice sentiments. So I'm just going to cut flag ends or tag ends, banner ends. I don't know what you call them. I think I call them all sorts of things. So my suitcase arrived home safe and sound. For some of you who may have read my Facebook posts, my suitcase stayed in Calgary a little longer than I did. I think because I had quite a short layover. I made my connection, but it didn't. So it arrived here at almost 11 o'clock last night. So at least it got here. All right, just bring in my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss. And I'm going to cut that, but I also want to cut an extra seashell, one of these little seashells. So I cut feathers all over. Okay, we all felt sorry for the hotel, the ballroom where we were for the final party on Saturday night, because there were feathers of every color. Well, I say that, but they were mostly kind of traditional New Orleans colors in purple and yellow and green. It was black and white. So we all felt sorry for the hotel staff that was going to have to clean up all of these feathers. Oh, and then I forgot to put that one through. Okay, let's bring it back. All right, so I'm just going to put this gold. This is the rustic gold, distress gold. Now, it's specialty paper, I think they call it. It is thinner than designer series paper, and it is really easy to cut. Like I said, this die is my favorite because it cuts this kind of grid, and it's just perfect for a background. So I'll just take these and poke out. If you've got the brush end for one of your take your pick tools, you can definitely use it on to get all these bits out. Sometimes running it through a couple of times just really makes it easy. I probably should have done that. But. All right. Almost there. You could use a label die if you wanted to as well for this piece. It doesn't have to be a grid like this. But I just thought, since I had it, there we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So this is going to go across like this. Now I'm going to take my glue and just put a little bit of glue on some of these lines. Try and not get too much. Hopefully it'll, if you have, okay, I'm just gonna put this on. If you have the adhesive sheets, they work really well for this, but I always seem to forget about the adhesive sheets. Now I've got glue on my hands. All right, now my seashell. So my seashell, there's one there. And let's put that one there just to give it some dimension. And let's see, that's going to go there. So that I'm going to pop up. So we'll put that on first. Oh, yeah, that's. I have some twine, the gold trim from the Elegant, what's it called? Simply Elegant trim. So I'm going to put some gold underneath. Can never have too much gold. So we'll put this right here. And then let's take some. So this comes in a package of both gold and silver, but I'm going to just use the gold, and I'm just going to take and wrap it around very loosely around my fingers a couple of times, and then cut it. And then I just take the two sides and pinch them together. Hold them. And then I'm going to just take and put some Stamp and Seal kind of right there, because that's, let's do this again. I'm going to put this on my, here we go, like that. Tuck that underneath there, and then like that. Okay, and then I will take and use dimensionals to put this on. Hello. Welcome. Got lots of people on tonight. That's great. Right, and so then I'm just going to take and put that there, and so it's just kind of messy with the trim behind it, and then just a little bit of liquid glue on here too. Oops. It's just like that. You could use a glue dot as well, but I think that will hold it. Tuck that down. Like that. Now the last thing for the front, if I can find them, I am absolutely in love with these adhesive backed sequins that come with the, as part of the Sweetest Christmas suite. And I have gone through, I don't know how many packages. I always run out of the gold first. So I'm going to use some of the gold that I have left, and I'm going to use them on here because I don't have many gold embellishments, and I don't have any of the little ones left. So we're just going to put 3 of these on like that. Those. And then the last thing I have is I've got a piece of basic white cardstock, and somewhere I have a piece of, this was the piece of the designer series paper that was just trimmed off as I was cutting this, and so I always save those pieces, and we'll put that on the inside of the card, just kind of maybe not quite a quarter of an inch, might be a quarter, no, not quite a quarter of an inch from the edge, just to finish off the inside of the card. I have little bits all over the place, and I have sticky fingers. I absolutely love this paper, and this suite is just so pretty. So the stamp set is called Season of Chic. I think the suite is called Texture Chic. A little bit of glue. There we go. All right, so there's my card, and I will bring back the sketch. So pretty similar. I mean, I didn't use a circle, but you can use any shape in place of a circle. Just a little bit of a different, kind of a different take on the sketch, but you could do all sorts of things with this sketch. So I hope you'll play along with it when it goes live. There we go. My beads, could throw them, but I try to find a place. My craft room has only kind of 5-foot high walls, and then it goes, because I'm above the garage, and so I don't really have a lot of wall space to hang things, so I actually have to figure out where to put my boas and my beads, which is around on the floor. When my cleaning lady comes to clean on Thursday, she's not going to be happy with all of these feathers, I don't think. So. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I hope you like the card. Play along with the sketch. Don't forget to post it in my Facebook group if you are part of that group. If you're not, I'd love you to join. The link is underneath this video when it goes live. You'll be able to go back to it. And so just request to join my group, and you can play along with all of these and share your cards. I'll be, let's see, we're getting close to the end of the month. So don't forget, Celebration ends at the August 31st. So if you haven't put your order in for Celebration, make sure you get your order in before Celebration is over. I just put an order in for someone and found out that some, at least in North America, it might be different in other markets, some of the Celebration rewards are sold out. So more than the tree lot dies and the pool party soft seafoam envelopes that have been sold out for a while. So get your order in. If you've been kind of thinking you were going to place an order, make sure you get it in before August 31st and before anything else runs out. Let's see, what do I have? Thursday night I'll be back with a technique. So I hope you'll join me then at 6:30. And then I'll be back on the weekend at 11 a.m. Pacific on Saturday and 12 noon on Sunday. Back in the swing of things. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.